pledge and prayer, please?
Yes, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today and we just give you all the thanks, glory, and praise. Lord, thank you for all the council members and the city heads that are sitting in this room. Lord, we ask that you guide us and lead us so we can follow your path that you want us to travel and be our guiding light as we make decisions tonight that benefits all the citizens in the city. In Lord's name I pray, amen.
Amen. Alderman Duggar.
Here.
Alderman Stark.
Here.
Alderman Lindsay.
Here.
Alderman McCormick.
Here.
Alderman Lightfoot.
Here.
Alderman McLean. Here. We have a quorum. All right, Beebe Water and Sewer, financials were in the packet. Tommy is not here, but if you've got questions, I can take them down and get them answers for you.
Motion to accept.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the financials of Beebe Water and Sewer. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next will be P and Z, the minutes of March the 10th. Thank you.
Motion to accept.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the minutes for planning and zoning of March the 10th, 2026. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, James, next is the ordinance.
We've got a rezone ordinance for 5 acres on South First Street that Mason owns. He's going to move it from C2 currently to R3 with the rest of the BIDC property.
I'm sorry, what's the ordinance number again?
2026-05. It was in the packet.
It's just a plot that matches up to the current property. Motion. Motion to read ordinance by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to read ordinance number 2026 by title only. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ordinance number 2026-05, an ordinance to amend the zoning map with response to the zoning classification of specific land areas within the city of Beebe, Arkansas, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as read.
So move.
Second.
Alderman Duggar.
Yes.
Alderman Stark.
Yes.
Alderman Lindsay.
Okay.
Alderman McCormick.
Yes.
Alderman Lightfoot.
Yes.
Alderman McLean.
Yes.
I need a motion to dispense with the second and third readings.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Duggar.
Yes.
Alderman Stark.
Yes.
Alderman Lindsay.
Abstain.
Alderman McCormick.
Yes.
Alderman Lightfoot.
Yes.
Alderman McLean.
Yes.
I need a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
So
So
moved.
move. Second.
Alderman Duggar.
Yes.
Alderman Stark.
Yes.
Alderman Lindsay.
Abstain.
Alderman McCormick.
Yes.
Alderman Lightfoot.
Yes.
Alderman McLean.
Yes.
That passes. Move to South Fork.
Okay, at the last meeting, we had South Fork Ranch, we had an ordinance adopting the dedications of the streets and utilities. We also had the owner's dedication, and that was approved. But after the meeting, after some research, I vetoed that action on that, and I sent it to Carol as it was statutory. And then for a number of reasons. One was that we should be receiving a maintenance bond on the Phase 1 and Phase 2. And then also ordinance 2026-02 in itself didn't address both phases, Phase 1 and Phase 2, nor did the dedications for Phase 1 and Phase 2. So we've had a number of communications with Mr. Earls and McIntyre here, and the bond, they have it here tonight. And Randy Grice, our city attorney, has approved the bond. As a matter of fact, he has placed a lot of the wording in the bond. And so they have sent it off. They have it back. They like some signatures that they will do tomorrow. They will present it back to the city tomorrow. And then Randy is working on the new ordinance that would accept the dedications from Phase 1 that was to carry over into with Phase 2, and also the dedications of the owners to the city. So he should have that in the next day or two. But I've spoke with each of them. We've met out there, and we've looked at the streets in Phase 1, and they are willing to make the repairs to the satisfaction of the city, and at the time requested by the city. Did I state that correctly? And so I think we have come to an agreement, and everything should work out for everybody, for everybody's best interest. So if sometime this week or the first of the week one, if we can get this all lined out and get our ordinances and get everything signed, and we'll need to meet just for a few minutes, and we'll take care of this situation for everybody. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
You think it'll happen this week, Mayor?
I think so, hopefully this week. But at least if we can get it by the first of next week.
As long as we meet after 6:30, I'm free any day.
But we'll send out, as soon as we get all the proper paperwork, we'll send out a text or an email. We'll communicate with you all at the same time. That's it.
That's it? Okay, all right. Next will be the clerk treasurer's report. The minutes were in your packet.
Motion to accept the minutes?
Have a motion and a second to accept the minutes of March the 23rd, 2026. All those in favor? Any opposed? The financial statements were in your packet.
Motion to accept as a whole?
Second.
Have a motion and a second to accept the financial statements as a whole for the city of Beebe. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, next is a list of asset items that need to be cleaned up off our asset list. Working to get stuff done before the auditor shows up. It was in your packet. Do you want me to go through it? Did you read it?
No.
Okay.
No, we're good. Can we accept them as a whole, or do we need
Yes,
to
you
go?
can.
Okay, motion to accept, removing all assets as a whole that was in our packet.
Have a motion and a second to remove assets or transfer them to the departments they need to go to as a whole. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, so as you know, you all do not approve the hiring of any individuals in this city. But you do have to approve their pay for budget purposes. So each quarter, as we did last year, we'll put something in the packet of who we've hired, and all you're approving is their pay. You're not approving them as a person. So that was on the table. It wasn't actually in the packet, so.
Do we need to go over every name?
Nope, you can just approve the,
Motion to accept the rate of pays for the names listed on the paper that was given to us.
Second.
okay, have a motion and a second to approve the pay for the first quarter new hirees. All those in favor? Any opposed? Most of them, as you can tell, are our seasonal help, so. She had that. All right, next on my list is the 2025 final budget. You want to speak about that, Mike?
Well, the only thing I want to say about the budget is when you look at the revenue versus expenditures, and you see the revenue is quite in excess of the expenditure, that's from our carryover. That's from our balances from the year before. So don't be confused that that was the 2025 revenue. There was $3.5 million carried over.
We have to pass this final budget by resolution. So I just need to know how you want me to read this when you're ready.
Let's read Resolution 03 by title only.
Second.
Motion to read Resolution 2026-03 by title only. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, resolution number 2026-03, a resolution to adopt the final budget for the year 2025 for all accounts, appropriating money from each and every item of expenditures provided for declaring an emergency to exist and for other purposes. This also includes any salaries that we increased, any new people we hired. This is like the cleanup ordinance, so I just need a motion to adopt this resolution as read.
So moved.
Second. Alderman Duggar?
Yes.
Alderman Stark? Yes. Alderman Lindsay?
Yes.
Alderman McCormick?
Yes.
Alderman Lightfoot?
Yes.
Alderman McLean?
Yes.
That passes. That's all I got.
Well, I wanted a review of the streets to be resurfaced. I think everybody has that. And then Maryland, Minette, Dees, Florida, Louisiana, Colorado, Mississippi. And in your packet, for instance, Maryland, we had an estimate in the way it was done. And Carol asked me the other day if we had approved all these, and I said, yes. But we can confirm that and make sure that we got everything for the audit purpose. So Maryland Street, so we broke these up in between asphalt and labor. So
So
asphalt, we do not have to bid.
what he's going over was attached to the minutes from last month. Okay. That's what
So we had Meriden at $13,500. And at the same time, we had Maryland at 120 tons of asphalt for 17,000. Does y'all see those?
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Minette at $9,400, and that says to clean off surface, repair potholes, repair edges, overlay with asphalt. So that one was such a low amount that, no, that was $9,400 total. Okay, and then 240 tons of asphalt at $22,320.
So when you say asphalt paving, you're talking about labor, right? And then the tons
So they
of
get
the
it, prepping
actual
it,
asphalt.
rolling it, getting it ready, laying it, everything pertaining but the asphalt itself.
Okay.
And then there was D Street. It was $13,000 with $11,400 for 120 tons of asphalt. And then Florida Street. $300 tons of asphalt, $29,900. That one was one I wanted to ask Tommy and James about, from Main Street to Apple Street. Have they cut all the roads that they're gonna cut? Is there any cuts to be done? I think we were boring that road, weren't we?
You're talking about from, Apple, excuse me. from-
31 South Main.
Yes,
So those houses that's built along Florida there, I didn't want to do that work if they were gonna do any more construction in there. Is there,
it's done.
Okay.
All the houses are done, they were all bored.
okay. Okay, so we can do Florida Street. And then Louisiana Street. We had 175 tons at 16,625. At a labor cost of $8,800. And we had Colorado Street. $12,500. And we had Mississippi Street, and that's in front of the Veterans Park from ASU back to DeWitt for a cost of $15,000. And then we had the VFW at $15,000. The road is going under that parking lot there. $15,000. That's all of them. And so I just want to make sure we had them all in the minutes for the audit.
So are those last three, they're not separated from labor?
No, that's just the cost of doing those.
The total cost, okay, labor and asphalt.
Correct.
While we're talking about roads, I know we talked about Wynwood and Dogwood and them being, after the construction and stuff gets completed, but, when we brought that up, that was before they had done the work on by the manhole where they took all the asphalt away.
Yeah, we're fixing that.
Y'all gonna, okay, that's why I just wanna make sure, cause that,
Yeah.
it was really smooth and really nice for about 2 weeks and now it's really bad.
Well, okay, we're gonna fix that, and I'll have him move right on over there and get that done.
Yeah, just that little piece. The rest of it's fine until after construction. It was just where they did the
Nathan, are you
digging.
getting close to Sherry?
Yeah, I talked to him last week, he said it was next to do. I talked to Russell
Yeah, I did too. He told me they might get on it.
this week,
Yeah,
that's what he told me as well.
okay. So we'll have them go from there over to Dogwood and get that done.
Yeah, just that little piece. They get that fixed.
Yeah, it's where
Fine
that,
until
that
afterwards.
manhole needed.
Had sunk in. Yeah.
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 Work. So you need something on that, Carol? You wanna,
I'm good.
you good?
Well,
I mean, you got it in the minutes, in these minutes.
yeah.
You already have it in the minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, and I read the minutes this
Yeah,
afternoon.
yeah.
But I wanted to make sure that we confirmed that. Okay? And then, we have 911 White County Dispatch. I know we've talked about this before, and it affects all the cities with dispatch. It's going to affect everybody, and there was an article written by Greg. Where's Greg? Article written by Greg. The judge had called me one day and said that she was going to propose this, that maybe nobody would pay anything in 2026, and then start paying a percentage in 27 through 29 and up to 30, and then everybody be paying 100%. And then this, we'll end up doing whatever the majority says, I'm sure, but it's intergovernmental action of all the cities when they vote. But in this article, there was she says that Brown has presented two proposals for sharing the total projected cost for the county for dispatch in 2026, which would be $1,027,335. In one by 911 call volume and another based on the population of the cities. And we were presented two proposals. And then Ms. Brown said, in the county budget for 2026, we've got the money appropriated to pay the entire year as we work through some of these kinks. And Brown said that the county could then ask the cities to pay a percentage like 65% in 2027, 28%, 2028, 75%, 2029, 90%, and then 2030 by paying a full portion. And then the quorum court said they liked that proposal, to go ahead and submit it.
So what would be our final cost in 2030?
Well, it depends on how they do it. And whether they do it by call volume, and that would be the number of calls that each city has, or by population. And I sent Judge Brown a letter this past week. And it said, Judge Brown, thank you for reaching out to me about the state of the countywide dispatch center. I appreciate your willingness to work toward a solution that works for the county as a whole. After our conversation and much thought, I have grave concerns about dividing the cost of dispatch center based on call volume. These concerns stem from my belief that it will encourage departments to be less proactive and, even more important, create officer safety. I've heard that several smaller agencies around the county are already talking about cutting back on traffic stops and security checks to lower their call volumes. This is concerning for two reasons. A lot of the crime in White County is driven by illegal drugs. These drugs lead to overdoses, theft, violent crime that hurt the county at large. The primary enforcement mechanism and deterrent to criminal activity in general, and specifically to moving illegal drugs and stolen property through the county, is the risk of being stopped by law enforcement. When a Pangburn officer makes a traffic stop and arrests an offender who is delivering drugs or dealing in stolen property, it makes Beebe and the entire county safer, not just the city of Pangburn. If these smaller agencies start doing fewer of these proactive stops because of how the costs are divided, crime could easily increase across the whole county. This is not good for any of us. Even more concerning, I've heard the small agencies may be avoiding dispatch centers altogether for certain calls like traffic stops to keep their numbers low. As you well know, the dispatch center is an officer safety net. It lets dispatch know where our officers are and ensures that they are able to get back up quickly if something goes wrong. If we go through and create a system that encourages officers to skip using dispatch just to save the city money, we're putting our officers' lives at risk. Losing officers because of backup didn't know where they were on a stop would be completely unacceptable. For the reasons above and many more, I believe that the dispatch center should be funded in a different but fair formula that doesn't punish agencies for doing their job or encourage them to cut corners or safety. I look forward to discussing and working alongside you to find a solution that keeps our officers safe, supports good police work, and is fair to the entire county. For instance, in the last few weeks, in order to educate traffic control, we've made hundreds of stops. And
709.
how many?
709 in the last.
So right at
In the last 3
800,
weeks.
800. So you know what that's going to do? Over that period of time, that could show that we did 50% of the entire county, which would create us and punish us for doing our jobs. And so for that reason, I can't support by call volume. Now, the other possible was by population. And we all know that every time we pay something out, we pay it by population. And every time we receive tax funds, tax dollars, we receive them by population. So I think it would be most fair and equitable that we would do this the very same way that we would pay on the population.
Yes, that was an excellent letter, thank you.
So also talk about when you said that nobody will pay anything in 2026. I don't think that's fair and equitable. I think that we all should pay in 2026, everybody. And the reason I say that is the total cost of the budget that the county has budgeted for the total cost is $2,140,708 for the cost of the dispatch center. That's what they budget, all right? They will receive $1,113,373 by state and state grants. The net cost to the county would be $1,027,335. That's all based on a budget. And through several weeks of requesting financial documents from the county, the actual expenditures for 2025 was $1,604,848. Yet they budgeted $2,140,708. So if we pay next year 65%, we're paying 65% on basically $2.2 million when the actual cost was $1,605,000. So we're actually paying 30% inflation. And so what they would propose would be that our cost based on that would be somewhere around $112,000. But at the same time that transpired is that when this originated, they were going to do all the 911 dispatch. They were going to do all of our warrants through there, and they took them. But then they sent them back, and they sent them back not just to us, but to every city, which in turn cost us to have to rehire people to do the warrants at about $65,000, $68,000 a position by the time we pay the insurance and the benefits. So when we do the calculations on this off an actual cost of $1,604,000, and then we take the state aid off of it of $1,113,000, and then we take off the 911 fees that they receive, the net is $413,681. And if you take by volume of what they did by calls, 10.517%, we should be paying $43,000 and not $112,000. And then if you want to take off what they cost us and to go into warrants and to do the warrants, you could say that our contribution should be somewhere between $45,000 and zero. So what I would propose, and I think what is fair, look back at the numbers that's been provided to us from the county, is in 25 they had $451,000 carried over. In 24, $320,000, and then in 26 beginning balance is $1,140,000. I would propose that I think would be fair that if no one pays in 2026, they're going to spend this $1,140,000 and it's going to be gone. And then in 27, they're going to say, we need to do this by a percentage. Someone's got to pay. There's no funds there. Those funds should remain. Those funds should be used in 2026. At the end of 2026, whatever the actual expenditures are, if it's, let's call it $700,000, then we all should be paid on population for that, and that goes back into the county. And once again, in 27, they start again with money in the fund, and we pay on actual expenditures, and we're not paying on something that's an inflated budget. And so after a lot of looking at it, I think that's what's fair for the city of Beebe. Y'all have any questions?
Are they gonna have, are they gonna have the final say, or does it have to be agreed
Of
upon?
course, there'll be a final say.
No, I said, are they gonna have the final say, or does it have to be agreed on?
Well, Matt, it said that, they said that the judge in this article said that the judge would meet with the mayors individually and present this. But also, by statute, they should probably meet by intergovernmental council, and that would be all the mayors of each city. And then there will be a vote taken, and that's what'll happen. Okay. But I think it's the most fair way to do it is pay at the end of the year. And we would pay what the actual expenditures are, and everybody would pay that. And it goes back to the county general then, and they start a new year. But when they start off with this 1,140,000, they're gonna spend some of it, but not near all of it. In 2026, they're gonna have money to begin with. And if we do it in this proposal and nobody pays anything in 2026, it's gone, that's gone. And then we're kicking the can down the road, and then we're also faced with the challenge of how is everybody gonna pay in 2027? And then we're gonna have a choice to make on what percentage and off of what amount.
So the next question I would have is, if every city that has a police station would be involved in that, what is the county portion?
That's a good question.
Because are they gonna account
yes,
for
the
every
county-
city that don't have a police station?
Yeah,
So they would get that total population?
I have that somewhere right here. On their figures that they handed out, the county would pay 34%. Searcy's paying 34%, Beebe 10.51%, Ball Knob 7.85%, and then on down for everybody, all right? But that's based on an inflated budget of $2,140,000, not actual, not $1,600,000 of actual expenditures.
So
And
those-
so you said at that, $330,000 would be what the county is contributing, but however, at that rate, there's gonna be a carryover, and a carryover, and a carryover. It goes to county general, or back to county funds, so how much are they really paying?
Yeah. No, I get, so if that was on, if those numbers were based on actual expenditures and not an overinflated budget, it would sound about right.
It's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you talked to any other mayors to get their,
No, I
Point of
read this
view.
article, and then I feel like I need to talk to y'all before, but, I do have this all broken down, and I'm gonna send it to the judge. If everybody is.
Greg, I didn't
agreeable.
read your article, but have you talked to the other mayors?
Just the ones like Mayor Marsh and Pangburn submitted a bunch of stuff. I talked to Mike, but you don't see that willing to talk.
I did talk to the mayor in Searcy for just a few minutes, and they had put together something for 2026 to present to the judge, but that was prior to the judge sending out something that said nobody's gonna pay anything in 2026. But they had calculated their expenditures actually, I mean, their fair share to be somewhere around, well, I don't have it here in front of me, but about $100,000 less than what they were proposed, that they'd been given. But I do have all this, and if y'all think that's a fair proposal, I'm gonna send it off.
yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Ordinances.
Stop moving.
Ordinances.
Yeah. There was something else. Oh, before we do the ordinances, there was something else, and I wanted to just to clear this up, and I think this was, a newspaper article was written by you. And it was about the franchise fees. And I read the article, and it appeared that the article was saying that we were implementing these, you correct me if I'm wrong, implementing these franchise fees for these following companies. And that is not exactly what we did, all right? We had ordinances that were scattered throughout the years that dated back to 1962 to 1966, and every time we wanted something, we would have to go in there and try to find this. And so we put them all in one ordinance. So for instance, we did not initiate a franchise fee on Entergy Arkansas. Entergy Arkansas has been paying 4.25% since 1966. And Summit Utilities has been paying a franchise fee since 1962. AT&T's been paying one since 1981. And the cable companies, which was Falcon Cable, was the first one that started, which started around 1993. They've been paying the 4.25. The only thing that changed in this was we put them all under one umbrella, under one ordinance, with the exception was Summit Utilities, since 1962, has been paying $1 per meter. And so they will be paying the same equitable share as everybody else, 4.25. That would be Entergy since 1966, AT&T since 1981. So I didn't want our citizens to think that we had just passed something that was a fee, a franchise fee, at our last meeting. We didn't do that. What we did was put everything under one ordinance for efficiency, with the exception of Summit. Okay. Well, I have one more thing. Yeah. Okay. We are the largest second city in White County. And I sent a letter to the White County Election Commission. And I know it's happened in the past, but I asked before because we've had a lot of requests and we have a lot of senior citizens. We've had a request for early voting. And so I sent a letter on let me get my story straight. On March the 3rd, I sent a letter to Honorable Robert Allen, Chairman. It said, I'm writing to you regarding the early voting process in White County, Arkansas, specifically regarding Beebe. As you may know, I am the mayor of Beebe. Over the last 2 weeks, I've had multiple calls and in-person visits from Beebe residents who are concerned about the fact there is no place to early vote in Beebe. Likewise, this is concerning for me as well. As I'm looking around at how neighboring counties handle early voting, I found that Lonoke County has early voting in seemingly every city, even cities that are 1/4 of the size of Beebe. We teach our children from a young age that voting is one of the most important civic responsibilities that we have as citizens of the United States. It seems to me that the lack of early voting opportunities in the second largest city in the county is akin to voter suppression, intentional or otherwise. Many of our residents work hard to provide for their families and are working during regular voting hours and often have rotating days off. In addition, there are many of our residents who are elderly and unable to travel to Searcy to vote. Without accessible early voting, many citizens may find it difficult or impossible to cast their ballots which undermines the fairness and inclusivity of our election process. If there's anything that I or the city can do to help ensure that we can move forward, Beebe residents have access to early voting, please let me know. I look forward to hearing from you and working with you to ensure Beebe residents have access to early voting in future elections. Thanks to each of you for your willingness to serve as election commissioners and for what you do for our county and overall election process on a daily basis. All right. I didn't hear anything immediately. So Jim Wooten wrote a letter requesting early voting. After that, I got a response from Robert Allen. After ongoing discussions, we will be exploring the establishment of early voting site in Beebe for 2028 election year. The initiative reflects a shared commitment to improving voter accessibility and convenience for residents in the area. We are optimistic that mutually beneficial arrangements can be reached between the Election Commission and the City of Beebe. Both parties have expressed a willingness to cooperate in identifying a suitable location, addressing and ensuring compliance with all applicable election laws and procedures. As we move forward, further details regarding site selection, staffing, and operational requirements will be developed and presented to review by the entire commission for approval. Your continued support and input throughout this process is appreciated. Okay. Have this in an email form, so it's kind of scattered. So then, Mr. Wooten responded once again. Dear Mr. Allen, I'm writing today about the lack of early voting sites in Beebe, Arkansas. Several of my constituents in Beebe have contacted me to express their frustration. Beebe ranks as the second largest city in White County. A significant number of individuals, particularly senior citizens, prefer to cast their votes early. The early voting period gives them the chance to vote without waiting long. Additionally, inclement weather serves as another obstacle. The runoff elections for the positions of White County Sheriff and Secretary of State are scheduled for March the 31st, 20. So as you know, early voting commences on Tuesday. March the 24th continues until March 30th, 20. Searcy has 2 designated early voting locations. My constituents in Beebe wish to have the same opportunity to vote as the resident services. Why is this that the second largest city in White County lacks an early voting site? I have communicated with Mayor Robertson. He suggests enlisting volunteers to assist at the voting site and said his office is willing to assist. While it may pose challenge for the runoff schedules, the residents are eager to cast their votes in November. Well, Mr. Allen said there would be no November, possibly 2028. So I responded again to Mr. Allen. Thank you for your response and your willingness to work with us to establish early voting in the southern end of White County, more specifically Beebe, if you know what the southern end means. They said, I respectfully urge the Election Commission to move forward with early voting for the for November 2026 election cycle. With multiple statewide races and entire state of city officials up for election, this is an ideal time to implement common sense policy that gives every eligible voter in White County a fair and practical opportunity to participate in the election of those who lead us as we move forward. White County is the second largest county in Arkansas by land area. Limiting early voting to just 2 locations in Searcy while offering no alternative anywhere else in the county does not align with the principles of one person, one vote. Residents in Beebe, El Paso, McRae, Mount Vernon, and many other communities across the southern end of the county should not face de facto blockade simply because of where they live. Likewise, the voters located in northern White County deserve a place to early vote. However, I will leave that to their respective representatives. My job is to advocate for Beebe residents. While voters must drive long distances or rearrange work and family schedules simply to cast a ballot, turnout predictably suffers. That outcome is not good public policy, nor is it fair to the hardworking taxpayers' families who live outside of Searcy. If the obstacle is budgetary, specifically the cost of election workers, I will be willing to help identify funding so that our residents are not at a disadvantage. If the issue is elsewhere, I would appreciate a clear explanation so we can address it directly and move forward. Thank you again for your attention to support. It matters. I know that several other people in town have contacted them also, and they had a recent meeting just last week, and they were told the response was the same letter that I got. So the position never did change, and so I would say I don't know how White County election commissioners are, if they're appointed or if it's a lifetime position, but I'll say this much, that I think it is voter suppression, and I think it's intentional or otherwise, because there's no reason not to try. And they didn't even try to help us, just said no. They have over 7 months left, and I know that we can get 5 different people to work the polls, and we're willing to pay them, but we were told, just don't want to drive back and forth. Searching. So, I don't know, again, if people are just dissatisfied with our performance, they can vote us out. I don't know what we do when we have people that just suppress the votes of the citizens of White County. I don't know. But anyway, for your constituents that ask, you'll have an answer now that we tried. And we've tried numerous times, and we've tried with support from our state representative, and they were also denied. So you'll have that for your information. I guess we are to the ordinances now.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. 2026-06, they were, Harley sent them out to you yesterday? Friday? Today, maybe? I can't remember. Oh, today's only Monday, isn't it? So probably today. And they're also on the table. You want to talk about sick leave? You want me to talk about it?
I think that, have y'all read these ordinances? They pretty much speak for
Yeah.
themselves. In our past, the police and the fire has been entitled to up to 60 days as a total of sick pay upon retirement, or not termination, upon retirement, yeah. So we thought it fair to offer that same to everyone. And so that's what this ordinance does. It just says that employees on retirement will receive 60 days or up to 60 days if they have it.
Motion to read ordinance 2606 by title only.
Second. I have a motion and a second to read ordinance number 2026-06 by title only. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ordinance number 2026-06, an ordinance amending the personnel policy in regards to the compensation of retired employees for accrued sick leave. I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as read.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Duggar?
Yes.
Alderman Stark?
Yes.
Alderman Lindsey?
Yes.
Alderman McCormick?
Yes.
Alderman Lightfoot?
Yes.
Alderman McLean?
Yes.
I need a motion to dispense with the second and third readings.
So, second.
Sorry. Alderman Duggar?
Yes.
Alderman Stark?
Yes.
Alderman Lindsey?
Yes.
Alderman McCormick?
Yes.
Alderman Lightfoot?
Yes.
Alderman McLean?
Yes.
Is there an emergency clause?
I can't find one. I've looked. I don't see one.
Okay. All right. This will take effect in 60 days. there's not an emergency clause. Okay. Next is ordinance number 2026-07. This is health benefits. What are you talking about?
Can we just pass it on up to, I'm not seeing an emergency clause on it.
There's not. There's not on this one either. So what this is that employees who retire from the city of Beebe, 55 years or over, and who has completed 10 years of full-time employment will be able to keep their insurance. Now, that will be at their cost, not the city's cost, but they will be able to stay on municipal health. Now, when an employee retires, or they cannot stay on our insurance.
But by
So-
state law, by statute, if a city adopts an ordinance, then they can.
So this is a nice benefit for employees who may be thinking about retirement.
I make a motion to read ordinance 2026-07 by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to read ordinance number 2026-07 by title only. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? An ordinance amending the personnel policy in regards to the eligibility of retired employees for health benefits. I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as read.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Duggar?
Yes.
Alderman Stark?
Yes.
Alderman Lindsay?
Yes.
Alderman McCormick?
Yes.
Alderman Lightfoot?
Yes.
Alderman McLean?
Yes.
I need a motion to dispense with the second and third readings.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Duggar?
Yes.
Alderman Stark?
Yes.
Alderman Lindsay?
Yes.
Alderman McCormick?
Yes.
Alderman Lightfoot?
Yes.
Alderman McLean?
Yes.
There's no emergency clause. Got one more. Okay, and there was one final resolution in your packet, resolution number 2026-04.
That's what we've been waiting on, that agreement for the exchange.
With the highway department? Motion to read by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to read ordinance number 2026-04 by title only. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Resolution number 2026-04, a resolution expressing the willingness of the city of Beebe to partner with the Arkansas Department of Transportation for the following project: Highway 367 DeWitt Henry Drive and Highway 67 Business / Highway 31, which is Main Street intersection improvements. Need a motion to adopt the resolution as read.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Duggar?
Yes.
Alderman Stark?
Yes.
Alderman Lindsay?
Yes.
Alderman McCormick?
Yes.
Alderman Lightfoot?
Yes.
Alderman McLean?
Yes.
That passes.
Have they given us any timeline on this?
No, we don't have that yet. And we get this all sent back in, and then we'll try to see if we can get a timeline. I know everybody wants to know. I know we want to know, but I think that's all we have.
So if we do
They
this,
want to do that, or they just put it?
if we do this, we won't have to go through the state on anything we do on that highway, on.
On Center Street? No, we'll become, become that, but we'll, every few years, we'll put it in, we can put it in every year in the state aid, street program, ask for resurfacing. Chief, did you include your report, or do you want to?
I didn't have anything good to say other than I just want to put it in there.
Okay, that's what, all right.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.